So let's talk about this Ray J situation, him being arrested for basically crashing out on camera. His his defense is, y'all came in here, tried to take my kids. He had a gun on him, so on and so forth. Things went left. He's banned from Twitch, gets arrested. He has a side, she has a side. Should he have done it? What would I have done myself? Well, we're gonna find out in this video. We have Ray J's streaming career is effed forever. Well, probably not just a streaming career. Ray J got a bunch of stuff going on, and we'll talk about that. He needs to be conducting himself a lot more professionally in the public eye because he has a lot to lose. But let's get started.
What's poppin', y'all? Ray J has recently been on one hell of a run streaming, but it looks like he might have ended this run with a grand slam out of Twitch.tv, the platform, because he crashed out. This is a Hall of Fame level crash out. I'm gonna play you guys the clip first and describe a little bit of what was going on.
Living in a world, bro. Now I got my kids in here with me. Like, I'm not, like, ain't nobody taking my kids away from me on Thanksgiving, bro. On the down. They in my house. They making threats to me. What's up? What you trying to do? Take my kids?
I'm getting my kids.
Okay, take your kids. Watch how they cry. Take my kids because y'all drunk. Y'all want to drive drunk? Y'all want to drive drunk? Drive drunk. Drive drunk.
You got to be more situationally aware, man. Like, even if you're going to confront her about this, don't do it. This is the time that the camera got to go off, bro. This is the time the camera got to go off. And I do got to point out the fact that it's y'all's kids. Y'all need to figure that out. And if you're really worried about the kids, you also got to handle it in a situation that the kids don't have to experience that toxicity up front if necessary, right? I've been in situations, man. I haven't always handled them the best. I will say that, but you get older, you get wiser, right? Hopefully. Number one, camera shouldn't have been on. Number two, if you're really worried about the kids, maybe certain things you just wait to deal with until later. Now, if they is drunk or if they have been drinking, that's legitimate. That's definitely legit. But I think his first mistake was putting this on camera, first of all.
Princess.
Right, you just
drive drunk.
You just pointed a gun.
Drive drunk.
You just pointed a gun.
Drive drunk, princess. Go ahead.
Oh, she said he just pointed a gun at him.
You want to take my kids? You and your drunk cousin? Because y'all drunk as fuck and y'all alcoholics? Take my kids then. Go ahead. Who's going to drive? Tony, he's been drinking too.
I'm not driving.
Who's been driving? Everybody?
Like Ray been drinking. Is it just me or did he sound like he's slurring a little bit?
I didn't point nothing at y'all.
You pointed a gun at us.
I didn't point nothing at y'all.
You pointed a gun at us.
Yeah, whatever.
You pointed a gun at us.
Why you waking my daughter up?
You pointed a gun at us.
Why did you just wake my daughter up? Why did you just wake my daughter up?
All I wanted to do was have a good Thanksgiving.
Why did you wake my daughter up?
Right?
Because you're selfish. You're drunk.
You're a woman abuser.
You're
and
drunk.
You're delusional.
I'm a woman. That's what drunk people say. Like, you're taking my daughter?
Grow the fuck up.
All right,
seriously.
cool.
You need to.
You're not taking my son.
Right.
Like, I know you're not taking my son. Hey, don't touch him. Hold on, bro. I swear to God, I'll shoot the fuck out of you. Y'all get out of my house. Y'all get out of my house.
Shoot me right now.
I swear to God,
Shoot me right now.
take my son.
No.
I hate you over the fucking head, bro.
Hey, you supposed to get family.
No, get the fuck out of here. You in my house.
Hey.
Bro, stop, dog. Stop.
Stop. Okay. I know you will, but stop. I'm trying to help you out.
All right, cool.
You good? Yep. Literally, partner, pull up right now. Let's chill.
Cool. All right, cool.
Damn, did Ray just go off and then get manhandled? That's what it sounds like. Hey, look, if it's my cousin and she ain't in danger and she just going to get her kid, I don't know about going to somebody's house, going in their bedroom, touching their kid. Like, if he ain't putting his hands on her and all them and all that, and I ain't got to like do something to protect her, like violating another man's space like that, and that's their kid. That's between them. I don't know. I feel like that's a danger. Then you're gonna go in there and put your hands on him. I don't know, man. I feel like you might be putting yourself in a situation unnecessarily. He wasn't hitting her. He wasn't doing nothing like that.
Literally. Yep. We go. All right. Let go. Let go.
I'm trying to help you. That's good. Let's just get out of here. They really have to get out of my house. Watch your door now. I got a gun. I'm trying to help you. Get out of here, bro. Watch this. I don't want to. I would never do that with this. Bro, I can shoot the fuck out of you, bro.
Now you got the baby in the background crying, or the kid. I don't think she a baby, but kid crying. Yeah, man. Look, I don't know, man. Them two they both seem a little toxic. They got some shit going on. Ray J could have been the bigger man and dealt with this off camera in a different way. I think so far. I don't know what they got going on. Who telling the truth? There's more to come in this video. All I'm saying, number one, is didn't have to be on the video. Number two, if you really worried about the kid, maybe you deal with things a certain way or wait till later to say or do certain things when the kid ain't around, right? So they're not exposed to it. But
okay, there's a balcony to my left. A room to straight ahead. Okay, so I'll hold this and then you scoot up and get up, okay? Ready?
41 is requested additional unit for open doors for each side of
So this was not scripted. This was on Twitch. You could see the Twitch chat scrolling up. You could see that he was live. And the situation that TMZ reported was that he allegedly pulled a gun on Princess Love, one hell of a name, right? His baby mama, and threatened to, unplug another person during this live stream. This was Thanksgiving morning. Yep, it was Thanksgiving morning. And the TMZ report says he pulled a gun and threatened to a man during a completely unhinged live stream. The chaos erupted early Thursday morning when Ray went live from inside his home, immediately ranting that he was having the worst Thanksgiving in the effing world, claiming someone was trying to take his kids, and he was also being threatened. I took out the frame where he literally pulls that thing out. I don't know. Is that?
yeah. No, I seen the gun. I ain't going to show it either, but y'all can go on TMZ and they got a picture of, well, at least about half of that joint big. That joint look like a 50 cal. I ain't going to lie.
A Desert Eagle. It was like a silver chrome looking one. Definitely not putting that up. I'm still on probation. We got a couple more weeks to go. Things spiral instantly, with Ray J appearing to snatch a handgun off the table and load it, saying, "If these people step close to this door, I'm blowing this ish away, bro." He storms off camera, and moments later he's seen yelling at someone off screen, ordering them to get out the house and accusing them of trespassing. Princess Love then walks in saying she's taking her kids, and you could see this is just such a sad situation, because you see her yelling terms at Ray J. She's like, "Oh yeah, you put your hands on," and this is his daughter. Like, she's waking up the daughter. Imagine how disoriented the daughter must be. And she's of the age where she can see what's going on. She can see the chaos. And this is also a thing where when people talk about like, yo, this person's growing up.
I wonder what made him pull the gun in the first place, though. I think I might have missed that. What made him pull the gun in the first place, or do they not go into that? I looked at the story on TMZ. I really didn't get that either. But let's see if he get into that.
Rich. Ray J is rich, but this daughter having to live through things like this, I mean, poverty is really bad. Trust me. Yeah. But I mean, if someone's middle class and you've got peace, that's probably better than growing up in a situation like this. Also, a situation like this where like your dad's getting locked up, your mom's calling your dad a terrible person. You've got Blicks getting pointed at people on Thanksgiving morning. I wonder what her Monday is going to look like at school when they ask you to share, how was your Thanksgiving? She's like, well, my dad got arrested and my mom was trying to drive drunk and take me to a different place. It's just a sad story all around. And then, she's holding.
Now, again, if she's trying to drive drunk, maybe the cousin was the designated driver. I still don't think he should have walked up in the man's house and into his bedroom at all. You ain't got no right to do that, especially if he ain't hurting nobody. That's first and foremost. But I'm not letting nobody take my kid either if they're threatening to drive, or if they're drunk or been drinking and they want to take my kid. But I'm probably not going to pull a gun on them either, especially if it's the kid's mom. Right? Worst case scenario, you call the police. Then if you want to do all that, you say, listen, if y'all get in that car and there ain't nobody in that car that ain't been drinking that's driving, I'm calling the cops. Period, point blank. I mean, that's how you keep yourself out of situation, right? I mean, you don't have to let them leave with the kid if everyone's been drinking. But if there's a designated driver and it's her cousin, maybe you let it go and you talk to the mom about it, by herself another time, or even after they get the kid out the house.
Their daughter. And then what happens next? Well, he gets arrested. Yeah, he gets arrested by the police. And then what happens after that? He gets bailed out same day. So Whack 100, listen, man, people could say what they want to say about Whack 100, but when it comes to the guys that he manages, this guy moves quick. He's getting everybody out ASAP. He's getting them out within hours. He's like, all right, I'm pulling up. And keep in mind, this is Thanksgiving for Whack 100 too. Whack 100 got
Whack probably was like, yo, man, what the fuck is you doing, bro? You got to be smarter than that. I'm telling you. Whack probably laid into him a little bit.
His own like wifey now, like the girl that he's locked in with. He's got his own family. Now he's got kids, and he said, nah, this is all getting off put. I gotta go bail out Ray J. And there was also the situation with the Game in the past where Game just put all of his assets in, I think, Whack 100's name, so he wouldn't have to pay out this default judgment to some chick that said the Game was touching on her. But Ray J was not going to let the narrative run. Now, granted, Ray J got banned on Twitch, and I tweeted about this, and I said the following. I said, he is never coming back on Twitch. Biggest F up of his streaming career. And this is kind of sad because you could tell Ray J was frustrated in the situation. I mean, you would think the guy was taking a sip of Henny. No, he was doing this, like he just took a sip of the Simply Lemonade, the pink one, and this is 100% a permanent ban. Like this guy is not, if he ever comes back, it won't be for a very long time. And also the problem with that is too, because you guys got to think, what does it look like for Twitch if you got people pulling out Blix on live stream? He's not saying some slur.
But that's the least of his problems, at this point. Not being able to stream, it sucks, but it ain't like he's in need of money either. But also, he's the one that kept the camera going. He could have just turned the camera off and dealt with that situation however he was going to deal with it. You know what I mean?
Not even throwing hands with somebody. He's not, like, there are a lot of levels to this. Woman in crib, child in the crib, Blix getting pulled up, arrest, he's cooked, he's done, deep fried, not even deep fried, he's burnt on the skillet. Like you gotta scrape it out to even peel him off of there. And this sucks because he's made a lot of connections. Like he's had a good run. He was on Mafiathon, he was collaborating with these FaZe guys. And one thing that I really like about Ray J is his ability to adapt. Like Ray J had a music career. I mean, he still does performances and things like that, but every new trend that comes in, he hops on it quite early. Like for instance, consumer products on and advertising consumer products on digital platforms like YouTube with influencer marketing. He was one of the first people to do that. Raycon was gigantic. You had Raycon and Raid Shadow Legends, right? Like those were the big two for quite a while.
All types of creators promoting Raycon.
Everybody sponsored by them. And then he did the reality show era, and he also had his own, what he calls the Gagency, which is some OF management thing of people that they're not using the rainbow flag. They're adding the pink to that rainbow flag, allegedly. That's what he's talking about. And I think right now he's working on a competitor to Zeus Network, but also he's been streaming. And he wasn't really too early on streaming. I would say DDG was early, a little bit too early on the streaming wave, but he caught it again at the right time. But he's been streaming and collaborating with all these guys. Now that he's banned, he cannot appear on any Twitch streamer's platform. And this is the thing that held Aiden back.
That's why you got to be smarter, man. Can't let your emotions control you, bro. I get it. When kids is involved, it can get kind of crazy, but you can't lose your head, because here's the thing. Even if you in the right, you can do something that'll not only jeopardize your freedom and everything else, but jeopardize your rights as a parent. You can. That's why, another reason why he shouldn't have been videotaping. What if something did happen? What if for some reason somebody did get shot? That could have put him in a bad situation, man. It's just, he gained nothing out of this whole situation at all.
Back for quite a while. And granted, Aiden is just Aiden. Like he built up a whole nother streaming platform. But Ray J being unable to collaborate with everybody that he's collabed with, that's going to harm him. And it's unfortunate that it had to come to this. But I'm going to play you guys the explanation that Ray J brought out, because it sounds like he's just unhinged, because a lot of what we've seen from Ray J lately, we don't know how much of it is acting to go viral. He knows what to do, what to say. He had that No Jumper appearance, the Whack 100 and Adam show, the Adam and Whack show. That was entertaining. The one that Ray J was on. down. But you're almost like, yo, is he of sound mind here? Is he drunk? Is he doing this on purpose? What's going on? He's had a couple of different moments like that, but here he's laying down what happened.
Listen, I'm gonna say this because I'm not gonna let the story go to where it don't supposed to go. You in my house, we're having an argument. All right, we grown-ups. If you want to leave, leave. The kids is upstairs sleeping in my bed. You want to go upstairs and take the kids, wake them up into this grown-up argument, which shouldn't have happened. Instead of letting them sleep, you want to snatch her and take her with you. Then you got a dude coming in my bedroom where my kids are asleep, and they're trying to get in my bed and take my kids because all of y'all are drunk. Y'all can't drive with these kids drunk. I'm not letting that happen. This dude is coming in my room, getting in my bed to take my kid. I'm going to defend my kids, and I'm going to defend my space. And now, when they call the police, no problem. I'm sure the police going to come and understand what I'm going through. I go to jail. I'm in my bedroom. They're in there snatching my kids out of the bed while they're asleep, and they're waking up yelling and screaming and crying.
I don't know what their custody situation is. Again, the drinking thing is another issue. The proper way to deal with it is if there's nobody driving who's sober, you tell them, I'm calling the police. Period. Right? That's the proper way to avoid all this nonsense. But I still want to know what started the argument and why did he pull the gun, if he did pull a gun in the first place. She said he did. But if he did, why did he pull the gun? I want to know that part. But if what he's saying is true, yeah. I'm not nobody. One, this dude ain't got no business walking through my house, going to my room. Two, if all of y'all drunk, no, y'all not getting in that car. But call the police, bro. Because you're going to lose in this situation, especially if you're pulling guns on people and all of that. You're going to end up on the bad side of that thing, man. As we see so far, yeah, he got bailed out. But as of right now, he's the one who's coming out of this on the shit in the stick.
A dude is getting my kid out of the bed, bro.
Right, I
I'm
feel you on
going
that.
for mine. For my kids, I'm going to double down on that. Y'all can't do that. But you know what? It is what it is. I love my kids. I'm not playing about my kids, and that's it. That's it.
Nah, yeah, listen, I'm all for that. You know, he ain't got no right going through his house. He ain't got no right touching them kids. He ain't got no right doing none of that. But then you pulled the gun, you did all that, you didn't use it, and you still got arrested, and they still took the kids anyway. What was the point?
I'm in my house. Y'all in my bedroom. Taking my kids out of the bed at 4 a.m. with a man, with you, in my bedroom. I don't know what else I would have done. I showed self-control. I didn't touch Princess. I didn't touch nobody until they started trying to get in the bed and snatch my kid. That's a whole nother thing, man. I'm in my house. I hate that this happened.
So this was Ray J's explanation, and keeping it a buck, he's spin. Now, when he was saying, oh, there was another guy in the bed or trying to get the kid from the bed, a lot of people from the headlines, they thought it was another dude that the baby mama was seeing. Now, that is a completely different situation.
Yeah,
At that point, and if Ray J blows his head clean off right there, splatter all on the walls, you know, he just, maybe his daughter wakes up, he's like, hey, just go back to sleep. We're going to clean this up in a little bit. I could understand. Like, send him upstairs at that point. Because, like, what do you think you're doing? Honestly, if he sent her upstairs with him, I wouldn't even mind. I would be like, you know, Ray J, like in that moment of rage, the level of disrespect was too crazy. Now, that's all a joke, by the way. That's all a joke. People can't tell when I'm being serious or not. Of course, that's never okay. And under no circumstance should somebody do something like that. We don't want a Chris Benoit type of situation. Of course not. However, you could tell his frustration. And this was the cousin. So this was Princess Love's cousin that was trying to get the kids, which is also, I think it's dangerous for him to be behaving like that because there's a domestic situation with your cousin and the baby dad and the kids. Now, if it was just between her and Ray J, maybe you want to get involved. Me personally, I don't love my cousin that much. You could, whatever problem you got with your man, you can deal with that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if he's joking, but look, if they just have an argument, I'm not jumping in the middle of that with their kids, bro. If they're just having their little family argument shit, like that's between y'all. Y'all figure that out. Y'all figure out y'all kid's situation. I'm sure as hell not going in there to grab the kid unless there's some dangerous situation going on where I really feel like I need to grab this kid. Like one thing I learned growing up, I used to do that. I get involved in some of my female family members' domestic situations. Trust me when I tell you, it was never worth it, bro. I put my freedom, even life on the line for no reason. No fucking reason at all. It was a waste of fucking time. And I'm telling you, man, that shit never work out for the person who jump in the middle of that shit. Then they end up going back or they end up working some shit out or you end up sacrificing your freedom or some shit like that. Ain't nobody, you know what I mean? And that's the domestic situations is crazy, bro. They crazy. You got to be real wise and know how to navigate that shit, especially if you on the outside. But again, if something was happening to the kid physically or they was in danger or the girl, I get that. But that wasn't the case here. So the dude ain't had no right going through the man's house.
I'm stepping out the crib. Self-preservation. Like cousin and sister is two completely different things. However, I could understand that. Maybe he loves his cousin a little bit more than I love mine. I like Ray J loves his kids a little bit more than I love mine. I mean, you ask me, my Twitch channel getting permanently banned or my kids, I'm going to have to tell you, like, listen, the Twitch has to stay up. I can't be getting banned on there, even though I don't use Twitch. So with
just turn the damn camera off, man. That's it. That's how easy it is. Why everybody feel like they need to like let the internet know what's going on? Turn the damn camera off. Then do whatever you're going to do.
The cousin of Princess Love, when the kids get involved, I think he's just gonna be like, listen, I'll wait for you guys outside and you go get the kids. Like him going in there, you're really overstepping boundaries.
Yeah, for sure.
At that point. And Princess Love had her own response to the situation.
Okay, so hold on. I've been like staying off of social media and just like protecting my peace. But what I'm not about to do is let him deflect and make it about me. And make it seem like I was drunk or it was all my fault. That is not the case. I went to his house. First of all, I just moved into my new house, but I went to his house with the kids because I wanted the kids to have.
I guess before I forget this point too, right? So we heard the police in the background on Ray J's video. She's saying she wasn't drunk. He's saying they was all drunk. Apparently, the police let him leave with the kid. So should we assume from that the police didn't think that at least not all of them was drunk, that there was somebody sober enough to drive? Right? I'm just saying. So would that mean, because somebody, if Ray J got arrested, that would mean they took the kid. If the police thought they was all drunk, do you think they let them take the kid?
The Thanksgiving with their dad. He's been gone for a month. Hasn't seen them, hasn't called them, and he wanted to spend Thanksgiving with his kids. So I said, me and my cousin and my cousin's husband went over there with my kids and her 3 kids, and we were prepping to cook the food for Thanksgiving. And I told him before I went over there, don't start nothing or I will take the food and I will continue cooking at my house. I honestly don't know why I keep thinking we can just co-parent and be cordial with each other.
This explanation was, I was trying to give her some sort of like, okay, can you give us an explanation? She didn't give us an explanation. She just said, oh, he's trying to deflect. Well, she said that she did not say that she did not drink. And we saw what Ray J was sipping on. Ray J was sipping on that Simply Lemonade, unless the...
Yeah, she didn't say that. But again, I do want to know if he told the police that he thought they was all drunk and if the police checked that. I'm not saying they was or wasn't. I just want to know about that. Whether or not anybody checked to see if they had been drinking at all before they let the kid be taken away.
was a bottle that we didn't see. But she did not say that she was not drunk. So she's drunk at who knows what hour, right? And she says it's her cousin and her cousin's husband, or that's even
Her
crazier.
husband,
and I think her cousin's wife.
Husband, some shit like that.
It doesn't even really matter. But then the way that she explains it, it's almost like, oh, if she came in talking about, oh, yo, don't start nothing, you're already starting it off on a negative foot, where he's looking at you like, wait, what's going on? And I don't know, maybe something escalates. But if you know that there's a possibility, then why bring the kids there? I want to think that this is Ray J's fault, because she's saying like, oh, I brought the kids over.
I don't want to think it's nobody's fault. I just want to know who's more at fault. I don't know. I ain't taking nobody's side as far as Ray J or her. I just want to know what led to the first argument. Why did a gun need to be pulled, and how it went downhill from there? Because all we hear is two different sides, and honestly, they both sound somewhat believable, but somewhere in there is the truth. I think Ray J played himself, one, by keeping that camera on, two, by pulling the gun in the first place. Who you pulling the gun on, bro? Not no females, I know. Now the dude that went and got in his house and tried to take the kid, that's a different story. But do you really need to pull a gun in that situation? You know what I mean? Can't you fight, nigga?
Because I wanted them to see their dad. But Ray J's explanation was a lot clearer than hers. We got a lot more detail from Ray J's explanation. From her, Ray J was live streaming the incident. From her explanation, we're just getting, oh, I don't know if we can co-parent. He's trying to deflect to me, and we got no details out of it. So Ray J, I gotta be on Ray J's side.
But neither one of them said what led to the argument in the first place. What was the problem? We kind of got just the end of it. What was the problem in the first place? That's what I want to know.
With this one, now it depends how much Ray J was tripping, but I don't think, because this is also another thing where she said, oh, I brought the kids. The kid was sleeping there. So when did you bring the kid? Was it the night before? That's also another weird thing that was going on there. And it's understandable for Ray J to be like, yo, you're not going to wake up the kid right now. And it's not like they were arguing in front of the kid because the kid wasn't there. It's not like they're at the Thanksgiving table, all the kids are around, and Ray J's just yelling. Or
I wonder what their what the parental rights are for them both. Like, or is it 50-50? Because if it's 50-50, that's a different story than if like Ray J has to schedule and all of this and that and the other. Again, but still, by pulling that gun and putting shit on that camera, Ray J put himself in a bad situation when it come to custody. But I wonder what their custody agreement is. Because if it's 50-50 rights, that's a whole different story. Like you ain't got no right to come take the kid, period. You really don't. I got as much right to have my child as you do. So that would be a problem, especially if you want to try to have one of your family members come in here and take my child. Do you need to pull a gun? No, you don't. If it's that real, hit the nigga or something, right? But I do want to know what their custody agreement is. Only thing I found was, as of April 2024, the final custody agreement between Ray J and Princess Love has not been determined. Both have requested joint legal and physical custody of their children, 5-year-old Melody and 4-year-old Epic. The matter remains part of ongoing divorce proceedings. So it just say both are seeking joint legal and physical custody of their two children. In May 2020, Princess Love requested full custody of their children with visitation rights for Ray J, but they reconciled and dismissed that case. Okay. So it seemed like it's a 50-50 thing. Like they basically they are agreeing to, like she said, co-parent with no legal restrictions. So if there ain't any legal restrictions, I mean, Ray J do got a point as far as, one, what do you mean you taking your kid? This is our child, and I got as much right to our child as you do. Firstly, secondly, if y'all been drinking, nobody's driving. Nobody's taking my child out of this house. So I get him on that. He fucked up, one, by recording, and two, by pulling the gun. I still think if it was that real and then he wanted to do it in his room, you know, you gotta fucking knuckle up a little bit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But then you doing that all in front of your child. Now you just put it in a situation where she go to court and she got this video. Who knows, man? It could be used against you, you know, to give her favorable custody situation.
Doing whatever she's saying that he's doing. The daughter was asleep. And then her waking up the daughter, he's like, yo, don't wake up the kid. Like, if you want to leave, you can leave. So this is just a toxic situation.
It's a
Let's
mess.
keep it a buck.
It's a
That's
mess.
all it is. And for a toxic situation to get to the point where you have kids and this kid has grown up to this age, which the daughter looked at least to be 6 years old, man, you love the toxicity while it was going on. That's it. It's a nothing burger in the sense of their relationship. This is going to happen again. This is going to continue to happen. It just is what it is. We know situations like this. Hopefully you try to stay away from people that have situations like this, but we know the deal. This isn't like each person says the other person's evil and is trying to ruin their life. It always happens like this.
Facts.
I'm just sad I won't be able to see Ray J collaborate with people on Twitch, to be frank with you.
Well, he played himself, and that's pretty much the end of the video, y'all. He played himself in that sense. He should have turned the camera off. First thing he should have did was turn the camera off. Since it doesn't seem like there's any legal custody agreement, so he has as much right to his child as she does. And if he think they've all been drinking, he has the right to say no one's driving with the child in the car. But if they insist on it and that's the case, just call the police, man. Just call the police. That's it. No need to pull guns on nobody. Again, you got to think about the kid. And all it is them going back and forth with each other, blaming each other, doing this and that. No one's talking about the child and how this might affect the child. You heard in that video, the child crying in the background, right? The child was crying because of all that negative toxicity going on. Like, that's what gets me in these situations, man, is that people forget about the kid, so caught up in their situation and them being right and this and that and the other. But what about the kid and how that's affecting the kid? Sometimes you got to handle things a different way based on the mental and emotional health of the child, you know, and not just always default to your pride. But we'll see what happened, man. What do y'all think? Who you think was at fault based on what we heard? And how do you think it should have been handled on Ray J's part? And do you think this may hurt him in any future custody battles? Let me know in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.